Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the In-Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. So I started making videos pertaining to records back in 2017 on the channel. It was not super common on YouTube at the time. I was bored at the house one day. I remember thinking to myself, I'm going to make a video specifically talking about all the questions people ask me at the store. And at the time, one of the most common questions were why do you have 50 copies of Sergeant Pepper in your new arrivals or your Beatles section? What's the difference? Why is this one $100? Why is this one $20? Thought I'd make a video of it because I got tired of explaining 3 times a week the same thing, and I thought, if I have a video, I could just reference people to it, and that would save me some time. Never really worked out because people would still come in and ask, and I would answer them anyways. I guess some people probably never asked because they had saw the video as time went on and the channel got more successful. But ever since the mobile fidelity fiasco, I started noticing other people reviewing my videos. And I thought to myself, it would be kind of cool if I did a review of my own videos. Rather than so-and-so's commentary on Mike's videos, let's do Mike reviews Mike. And I thought the coolest place to start would be in the absolute beginning on my very first YouTube video. That was a Sergeant Pepper shootout. Now at the time, I just grabbed the copies that I had at the house and I made the video based on that. But subsequently, the way I do these reviews has kind of changed a little over time. I now seek out everything that I really feel should be included. A lot of foreign pressings and stuff that I would never ordinarily even own, because I know that question's going to come out, well, what about my Canadian pressing, or what about my German pressing? So let's take a look at that video and go from there. My old intro. I forgot about that. Turns out people don't like intros, so I did away with it. I thought it was cool. Buddy of mine, Johnny D's, recently acquired music used there. Chuck Womack and the Sweet Souls, Ham Hocks and Beans. I later reissued that as a 45 RPM. So, yeah. Much older system. Still had hair on the top of my head. No hair on the face.
So today I'm going to be going over the different pressings that you should own and some of the pressings you should avoid.
This wasn't the stiffest I ever was in a video. The couple of videos after this, I became even more stiff, scripted. I had a whiteboard behind me. But I noticed I'm putting a lot of cuts in this, and that's not something I really do anymore. Now I just kind of ramble for the full 20 minutes of a video and let it rip.
This is the original UK issue on the black and gold Parlophone label.
Yeah, this is kind of hard to watch, I'm not going to lie. Going back in time here is, this is difficult.
This album out there that exists. Tough finding a clean copy. Not a lot of people bought this album and said, you know what? Not really a fan of this album.
Isn't that true? Not easy to find a clean copy, but I think when I filmed this video, you could get real nice clean copies of those stereo Parlophones for $100. I mean, they were relatively common back then.
Here's a UK stereo copy on the original.
Yeah, I mean, it was not hard to pull one of those in the store, and it'd sit on the shelf for $100. Real clean copy, complete. Sit on the shelf for $100 for a month or two.
If you want an original,
not anymore.
You want a Parlophone pressing. This is the US stereo copy.
I'm pretty sure I still have all these pressings. I doubt I got rid of any of them because I figured I was going to revisit this review one day, and it never really happened.
Sound quality of the UK counterpart, best to avoid. This is the 1976 Capitol Purple Label repress. Another garbage sounding Capitol reissue. Best.
I'm really rapid fire here, boy.
This is the 1977 UK repress. You could get them individually at the time, or they also came in the BC-13.
Let me pause it there. This, at the time, I remember really, and even to this day, I really recommend this BC-13 pressing. I think maybe this was a $20-ish record when I did this video. It's probably a record that I could put a $100 bill on right now and sell this instantaneously. Going back in time, kind of thinking about this, when I opened the store, I had those BC-13 boxes in the case for $150, and man, they were unsellable. I want to say now it's probably a $500-600 box set. Might still be underpriced for what it is, but it's funny hearing me talk about it here. Different era. Man, how much this industry's changed over time.
They were all stereo. These actually sound really good. One of the best stereo presses you can get, and very inexpensive. Copies of this in near mint shape go for $25. If you got early copies of this record, they were all made off the original metalwork from the UK Parlophone stuff.
Early ones are the
This is
better
the
ones.
version of this album made on JVC Super Vinyl. Because of that, it's extremely quiet. But they really tweaked with the dynamics of this record. They really boosted the top end. It has a very unnatural sound to it.
Oddly enough, I don't know to this day why there's more of a smiley face EQ on this particular version versus the UHQR.
This is Mobile Fidelity's UHQR version of Sgt. Pepper. UHQR stands for Ultra High Quality Record. This version kicks ass. This is hands down the best.
There's not actually a ton of UHQR and our Mobile Fidelity from the 80s that I really like and listen to, but that was one of the good ones.
The reason it pulls that kind of money is because it's killer.
There's no doubt about it.
Of them, so it's not ultra rare, and people that bought it took care of it.
Maybe this was $400 when I filmed this video.
Killer sounding.
400 to 800 depending on. I think I had sealed copies that I sold for $800.
This is the 2012 stereo remaster of this album. They kind of reimagined the way it should sound. They remixed it. This sounds like...
Wasn't remixed, actually. It was remastered in a way that almost makes it sound remixed, so ignore that faux pas.
This is the brand new mono version. And in my opinion, this is the best sounding mono
Let me pause it there.
This album.
Brand new. It came out in 2014. I get emailed weekly, sometimes 2-3 times a week. It wasn't an issue that came out in 2017 when I filmed this video. It came out in 2014. We'll talk about this more in a second. It's actually, I got a lot to say about this video and net pressing.
You can get very, very dead quiet. They were all made in Germany. The quality control is impeccable. And if you can find a really early Parlophone copy, you might get it to sound as good as this.
Good luck.
Master tapes for the mono records weren't really readily used throughout the years. They were in impeccable shape, and it really shows with this particular issue. This thing is killer.
Woo.
They replicated the original jacket. You got the original flip over.
This is at a time when these records were in print, and you could get this for $23. I filmed this video.
I'm actually buying these things in bulk, and I've been stockpiling them because this sucker is going to be worth some money in the future. It's just a killer album, really done properly.
Oh my God! So let me tell you about that. So, and I was looking back on that one, boy, oh boy. I didn't stockpile enough of them, but I knew the day that that came out, I'm like, when this thing goes away, these things are going to be desirable. I just felt it in my bones. I knew that was going to be the case. And I remember you come into the store, and there was a point in time where I had a good 3 or 4 feet of them, maybe a couple hundred copies of it. I had a lot of the White Albums, Sgt. Pepper, Revolver, Rubber Soul. I was just loading up on them because I just knew that there was going to be a time when these things weren't in print and they were going to be desirable. So I had a lot of them. So when I filmed this video, I put that out there. Like, you could have watched this in 2017 and said, oh, you know what? Let me go out and buy that record. And a lot of people did, but a lot of people didn't. So maybe a year or two goes and year or two goes by and people started sending me the most nasty hate mail. You're a flipper, you know, if you didn't buy so many, there'd be plenty for the rest of us. Look, the 200 copies I amassed wasn't exactly cornering the market. They probably made 100,000 of these things. But what's interesting about it is, you know, and I would email them, you know, I'm a record store. I do this for a living. That makes me not a flipper. That makes me a record store owner. A flipper is a person who has a job whose side hustle is buying and selling records. That is my main job. That is what I do. I buy records for less than I sell them for. This was no exception. But it's funny, and I put that information out into the internet way early on, and a lot of people bought it off of that recommendation. And now what is this, $400 record maybe? But yeah.
This is the new 50th anniversary issue. Now, to me, this album is really weird sounding.
Yeah.
The bass is too much.
The remixes are unique, and I listen to them when they come out.
They were trying to make it sound more
but
like the mono.
I don't ever really go back to them to this day. Maybe Abbey Road more, because I don't have that nice clean and mono version of it that's in the box set. Maybe they've Let It Be too.
Release outtakes, but they did an alternate version of.
We got a Revolver coming up. I'm wondering what that's going to sound like.
It really is worth buying this album to kind of hear how they put this album together.
It's funny, to this day, I like the Escher demos in the white. I mean, I like all the bonus material that they put out with these. The bonus material really is truly where it's at. Yeah. Let's hear the
Also, there's
rundown.
two records I like to talk about that I can't comment on because I don't have.
Yet.
The first one is the Nimbus Supercut.
Still don't have it. I bid on it.
It's a hi-fi
I bid
magazine.
2,000, it sells for 2,500. I buy 25, bid 2,500, it sells for 3,500.
Nimbus Supercut records. They sound great. I'm sure.
I need to get that Nimbus Supercut.
The other one was done for the 1983 Sydney Hi-Fi show.
Much
It
rarer.
was done by Audio 5, and that was kind of a.
I do got this
that
one
was
now.
meant to show the absolute best of what that EMI Australia was able to do.
And it sounds awesome. Once I get a Nimbus, I'm going to probably redo this video. Maybe it's like an anniversary type of thing.
$1,000 nowadays. Heard it's great. Can't tell you. Okay, to sum it up, for the mono, I'd go with the brand new.
Let's hear the summation. Brand new reissue in 2014. Not in 2017, but it was in print at the time.
Followed by the original black and gold Parlophone. For the stereo, I would go with
God, I got to give that a listen to, man. To be honest, I forgot.
Followed by an original first.
I forgot how much I really dug that.
Followed by the 1977 reissue from the BC13.
That BC13.
All right,
Definitely
guys,
to
that's
this
it. If you have
day,
any suggestions on future
still
records we should
a
do,
value.
Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe.
Well, that's
Until
the end of
next
the
time.
video. Look at that. Until next time. Some things never change. Okay, so I will say this about this. If you kind of dig this, let me know in the comments below. I might do some more of these in the future. But I thought as time went on, it was kind of cool to go back on some of these older videos. What did I get wrong? What did I get right? A lot of revelations in the industry has kind of changed a lot of people's perspective. My opinion on things has kind of evolved over time. But I kind of wanted to go back in time and kind of see how some of these videos have held up. Kudos to me for that prediction on the mono Sgt. Pepper. I wish to this day, though, they were something that were still readily available. I know a lot of people like the fact that they've got really high dollar records in their collection and don't want them to be repressed. Those were so good they really should truly be repressed. But, you know, maybe. We'll see. All right, guys, until next time.